Tonight, confirmation from 5 states that passengers who were aboard the cruise ship with the deadly Hantavirus outbreak are back in the U.S. 1 person in Virginia, 2 in Georgia, 2 in Texas, another in Arizona, and an undisclosed number of people in California. Health departments in all of these states telling NBC News that the former passengers whose identities are being withheld are not showing any symptoms. Texas explaining that the passengers have agreed to monitor themselves for symptoms with daily temperature checks. The other states declining to share how the passengers are being monitored. We asked each state if those passengers are quarantining. 4 would not answer that question. Arizona saying the person there is not isolating.
Should the passengers back in the U.S. be quarantining?
Yes, at least for the duration of the 6 weeks since a known exposure.
Johns Hopkins microbiologist Sabra Klein says that's how
6 weeks is crazy. First of all, let's not pass that as if it's not a big deal. That's USA.
how long it could take for symptoms to show up if a passenger was exposed and contracted hantavirus. The confirmed Andes strain of the virus is usually transmitted through rodents, but in the rare cases of human-to-human transmission, Klein says there must be a high level of virus and very close contact.
In order for human-to-human transmission to occur, this requires intimate contact, like sharing a bed, like sharing utensils.
Unlike COVID, she says, hantavirus is not readily transmissible.
People in the United States do not need to be worried. This is not a
Yeah, I'm not buying it. For her to say not to be worried, I disagree. I'm not saying for people to freak out and lose their heads, but I'm hearing this virus is worse than C-19 back in 2020. And I believe that. I do believe this is a stronger virus. So for this one here to say not to worry, I don't mean for people to lose their minds and go crazy, but I do think you should take this serious. Definitely.
another pandemic. This will never have pandemic potential.
BS.
And with that, Camila joins us now. But Camila, the big question is the federal government doing anything to track possible exposure in the U.S.?
Yeah, Tom. So we now know the CDC has activated its Emergency Operations Center in Atlanta. It's a level 3 activation, which is the lowest. So it's not an all hands on deck situation, but it does help activate experts and coordinate point people for the response. And they'll be operating 24 hours a day. Tom?
So they're monitoring.
Let me tell you something, man. If it were up to me, no one's getting off that boat. Nobody is getting off that vessel until the coast is clear. You're not coming off that boat. You're not going to get off this boat and back into the States, and cause another spread of this virus. It's just not going to happen. Again, if it were up to me, you're not coming off that boat. You're not getting off. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. Let's play another video. Let's read some comments really fast for this video. Let me do that. Let me read some comments. Let me see. 2813, 3 unalived, 10 infected. Whatever. Excuse me, not isolating. Exactly. I agree. I mean, the fact that you let him off the boat is crazy. The fact that you let him off the boat is wild. I agree. I can't do this again. Me this summer. What do you mean an undisclosed number of people? And God. I just want to slap somebody sometimes who's in charge of, I don't know, man. Excuse me. Whoever's in charge of letting people into the country. I'm not sure if it's immigration. It's immigration, obviously. I don't know. I'm talking crap. I don't know if it's Homeland Security, whomever. Someone needs to get slapped. Someone needs to get slapped to let people back in the States who are affected with this virus. Crazy. Arizona, California, I think Texas, and Georgia. Yep, Texas right there. We're in Texas. Give me a second while I find something nice to say. I'm in Philly. It's just terrible. So, yeah, let me just get to the next video and go from there. Unreal. Unreal.
Okay, we are all over this story for you. Breaking this morning, Dutch authorities say a flight attendant who was in touch with a woman who died from Hantavirus in South Africa has been admitted to a hospital after showing symptoms. There are also new reports that some of the Americans who are on board that ship plagued by an outbreak for days have returned back home. Well, now there's growing worry that they may have brought the rare and deadly virus back with them.
Nice.
Nick's here with the latest on this story. Nick, officials in several states are now monitoring this entire situation.
Awesome.
Absolutely, Mark. They're doing what they call contact tracing. They want to make sure that anyone who is on this ship is not taking that virus anywhere with them without being traced. While the CDC tries to tamp down public fears, at least 3 state health departments are keeping tabs on people who were just on board the MV Hontavirus. The New York Times reports that California, Georgia, and Arizona state health departments are each monitoring residents who were on that beleaguered ship. Right now, however, the 2 people in Georgia are not showing any symptoms. Those reports come after 3 people were evacuated off the ship on Wednesday, including the ship's doctor. There have been 3 confirmed hantavirus cases on board, with 5 more suspected. 3 passengers have died. The ship, with nearly 150 people still on board, is expected to dock in Spain's Canary Islands in a few days, where the remaining passengers and crew will be evaluated. In the meantime, Marky, those still on board are being asked to social distance, sanitize their hands, and isolate in their rooms as much as possible.
I cannot do this again. I cannot do another shutdown. I can't do another stay home. I can't do another quarantine at 6 feet apart. I cannot do this again. I cannot do this again. Now, I'm here in Florida. During the pandemic, we were open. Florida was wide open in terms of bars, restaurants. Nothing was shut down here. I mean, some things were shut down, obviously, but for the most part, you were able to go outside. So I wasn't suffering 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever. I wasn't suffering. We were wide open, and I'm just not trying to go back to living that way again. I don't have time for the crazy mask wearing. I can't do it. I cannot do it again. No thanks.
Can't imagine being on board this ship for any of this. So, Nick, what's all being done to ensure the virus doesn't spread off that ship to land into other communities now?
Yeah, Marky, they want to tamp down public fears, right? As we mentioned, several state health agencies are monitoring the situation here at home, but doctors say, for the most part, people really don't have anything to worry about.
BS.
The only documented cases where it looked like there might be human-to-human spread were very close contacts, husband and wife, parent and child, people who lived in very close proximity to one another.
And on Tuesday, that sentiment was echoed in a statement by the CDC's acting director, who said, quote, "The risk to the American public is very low," adding that the virus is only spread by close contact with symptomatic carriers. Meanwhile, the ship's crew and passengers will be examined in Spain before being sent to their home countries. The 14 Spanish passengers on board will then quarantine in a military hospital in Madrid before being allowed to return to their communities. Other countries have said they will isolate or monitor passengers when they return home. The World Health Organization is set to give an update around 9 a.m. Eastern this morning. And of course, Marky, we will follow that and bring you the latest.
Yeah, we'll be.
Anyway, let's read some comments really fast. This is crazy. Bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored, just practicing. I have 1 pandemic per lifetime rule. I hope the Hantavirus do not affect the price of alcohol. What should have been done? Sink the shit. I feel you, man. I feel you. This is ridiculous. They let them off the boat. They let them off the damn boat. Like they want this to spread. Like they're looking for this to be another, 2020. I'm so beyond pissed. Did we learn it? Did we learn nothing? Apparently not. We learned nothing. Mind you, they said all this about, Yep. Right here. This should be pinned. Don't worry. No need to worry. Hey, man. Hey, man. A flight attendant who comes in contact with hundreds of people a day. This is pissing me off. You get the point. I'll stay on top of this. It's this story. Obviously, it's gonna be, world news at some point. But yeah, much love to you. Thanks for watching. Peace out.